everybody, welcome along to Sportsbet TV. This is Paul Alster here once again with your selections for Royal Ascot. We endeavour to bring you the very best value tips out there, and we've done very well for a start because on day one of Royal Ascot we had a terrific winner in the shape of Nazif, who, as we told you, with Jim Crowley on board, we expected to do really well, and she duly came through in the Group 2, coming through fast and late to catch Agincourt, and as recommended she scored at odds of 100 to 30, so we very much hope that you were on board Nazif on day one. The other day one selection was Flaming Spear, who never really got into it after being hampered 3 furlongs from home. He was a big outsider, but he would have done a lot better had he been granted a clear run. Now, we're recording this before the action on Wednesday, where we have 2 tips. They're available below on our previous bulletin. But we're moving on now to selections for Thursday and Friday. And in case you don't want to miss anything that we tip you on our horse racing section of Sportsbet TV, then just press the red subscribe button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can follow all my tips free here at Sportsbet TV. Now let's crack on with it, because on Thursday and Friday we're anticipating the weather to deteriorate and the rain to get into the ground. So we're banking really on ground that's probably going to be the soft side of good. It may even be soft ground by Friday, and we've taken that into account on our selections. So we may have to review them if the ground changes, but according to the BBC and other weather forecasts, there's going to be plenty of rain for the people that aren't there at Royal Ascot. No crowd, of course, and no owners and no bookies, but some great racing. Now then, let's take you on to Thursday the 18th of June. Our first selection, the Group 3 Jersey Stakes, over the straight 7 furlongs at 2:25. This is a race that is for horses that aren't quite making it at Group 1 and Group 2 level. And the horse we like the look of here is a horse who ran just last week in the Irish 2,000 guineas. He's called Monarch of Egypt. He's a really decent sword, and he's trained by the superb Aidan O'Brien, and the world-class jockey Ryan Moore will be on board. Now, at the time of recording, Monarch of Egypt is a 7-to-1 shot, only with Bet365, because the money is coming for this horse. He was 17-2, 8-1, then 15-2, now 7-1 bets with Bet365. Some are only going 6-1, and it looks like there's a plot afoot and a gamble going on Monarch of Egypt in the 225. He was only beaten 5 lengths last week in the Irish 2,000 guineas, and last season, of course, he only went under by 3/4 of a length to Siskin on soft ground, so conditions should really suit him. That 7-1 shot, Monarch of Egypt in the 225, the Jersey Stakes, and is certainly an each way price. Now, our second selection is also at Royal Ascot on Thursday. It's in the very first race there, and that is called the Golden Gates Handicap. It's over 1.25 miles. Now, because of all the racing that was missed because of coronavirus, they've very kindly scheduled extra races at Royal Ascot this year, and the Golden Gates Handicap is a completely new race. We have no obvious form lines relating to Ascot to go on. The horse we like here is trained by top man John Gosden and the mount of the superb, effervescent Frankie Dettori. Now, he's a 5-to-1 shot with everybody, this one. Hypothetical. He had a very good win by 5 lengths on debut at Chelmsford in December, and then he ran just a little bit free after being off for 5 or 6 months when he was fancied at Kempton, and we actually tipped him to you. He eventually faded into 4th, but there was a lot to like about that run, and we think that with that run under his belt, with both Gosden and Dettori already doing very well here at Royal Ascot, we think that Hypothetical has got a massive chance in the opening Golden Gates Handicap, the 1:15 race on Thursday at Royal Ascot, and he's 5-1. Now then, we're going to move swiftly on to Friday, the 19th of June, day 4 of Royal Ascot, by which point we anticipate there will have been quite a bit of rain. And we're going to start off with the Group 2 Hardwicke Stakes over 1.5 miles, due off at 3 o'clock. It's a race that has attracted some very good horses. Last year's winner Defoe is in the field. El Akam, who is a very good horse at 1.25 miles. Will he stay 1.5 miles if it's soft ground? I'm not completely convinced. but I still respect him, as I do last year's Derby winner Anthony van Dijk. Now, he was a very, very good second to Gaiath at Newmarket in the rescheduled Coronation Cup. But his only really bad run last year came in the King George at Ascot, and that was on soft ground, so you'd have to be a little bit worried about him at a fairly short price. Now, assuming the rain comes, we've got one that we really do like here, and he's offered 12 to 1 each way with most firms. His name is Morando. He's a 7-year-old, so he's got a lot of experience. He's trained by Andrew Balding, who of course won the 2,000 guineas with Kamiko and is having a great season, and he's the mount of former champion jockey Sylvester de Souza. Now, the thing about this horse, Morando, is he absolutely loves soft ground. He's like a pig in muck. He really does love to get his toe in and see the mud flying. And last season he only encountered soft ground twice. The first time, he won by 8 lengths at Chester in the Group 3 Ormond Stakes, beating the very useful Kew Gardens. And then at the end of the season, here at Ascot, over the course and distance of 1.5 miles, he beat the useful Sextant by 6 lengths in the Group 3 Cumberland Lodge Stakes. So he loves the track, he loves soft ground, the stable's in form, and we think 12 to 1 each way for Morando in the 3 o'clock race on Friday at Royal Ascot, the Hardwicke Stakes, could prove tremendous value, particularly if there's plenty of rain. And for our second selection on Friday, and our final selection on this bulletin, we take you to the 3:35 race on Friday, the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup. It's for 3-year-olds only over 6 furlongs. It's a very, very high-class race, and we've got a real long shot here for you. This is a horse we recommended to you last week when he wore first-time blinkers in the Irish 2,000 guineas. His name is Royal Lytham. He's trained by Aidan O'Brien, and he's a very rare ride for Ballydoyle for the terrific jockey who we really like here, which is Pat Cosgrave. Now, the thing about horses first time in blinkers, sometimes it works straight away. Other times it takes a run or two until they adjust to having the blinkers on and not being able to see other horses. What happened with Royal Lytham? He ran a little bit too free. He showed terrific pace, but over the mile and on the uphill finish at the Curragh, he got tired and he faded. Now, that was his first run of the season. That will have blown the cobwebs away, and very sensibly we feel Aidan O'Brien is dropping him back to 6 furlongs, and very often horses with the second time blinkers run a lot better. Now, when we saw the odds available with Paddy Power and Betfair, for 4 places each way at 33 to 1, we couldn't not tip this horse, Royal Lytham, and I think he's going to run a very big race. He's one of 4 runners for the stable. They've also got Lope Fernandez, Pistoletto, and last year's Royal Ascot juvenile winner, Southern Hills. But the value, I think, at this trip in the second time blinkers is with Royal Lytham, and you don't need to have much on at 33 to 1 each way for 4 places for a very nice return if he can at least hang on for a place. So those are our selections for Thursday and Friday at Royal Ascot here at Sportsbet TV. As always, we wish you the very best of luck. Enjoy your racing and come back to us on Friday where we'll have tips for the weekend, including of course the final day of Royal Ascot on Saturday. Bye bye for now.